Yes, what's up guys? Welcome back to a new real estate video. The title says already, the Spanish real estate market in 2026. Today of recording, it's the 6th of March, so we're already a few months into the year. So we're gonna talk what happened these past months and what can we expect for the rest of the year. So stay tuned. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And let's go. Okay, we're jumping right into the main issue of the Spanish market for an investor, and those are rental caps. In 2023, the National Housing Law introduced new rental caps in tension areas. So what are tension areas? Local government have the power to declare a certain area as a tension area, and that means the rental caps will apply. So in districts officially declared tension, for example, most of Barcelona, in practice, you cannot exceed the index price that the government put. So if you exceed the index price in a rental contract, that means you can get a fine. So the rental caps are extremely low. I'm going to show you later with a real life case example of a property we manage and own, that you can see what kind of rent you can expect. So this law is nationwide. However, each city, municipality can determine if it's in high tension zone and the rental caps are in place. But this is something to have in the back of your mind, because if you're investing in this area, there are no rental caps, they can come in the future. So before you start investing in a market in Spain, you have to verify, is this area a high tension area, yes or no? And if no, what is the index price with the rental cap that I can rent for? So in case they put a rental cap, so you can know, oh, this is the worst case scenario. Is it still cash flowing? Is it still a good deal? So you're kind of prepared for the worst case scenario, yeah? So this is very important to check, verify, is this a high tension area, yes or no? If it is, of course, you have to see the index price, because that's the rent you can charge. If there's not, then at least have this in the back of your mind to see like, hey, this is approximately for this purchase price. Maybe if they put rental caps, this is the max rent I can charge. So a popular loophole to avoid the rental caps is a midterm rental contract, because you can charge the free market rent. A midterm rental contract is a contract of 31 plus days up to 11 months. So it's not a long-term contract and it's not a short-term rental. However, from the beginning of this year, the Catalonian government also put rental caps on midterm rental contracts. They put them the same as long-term rental contracts, so they refer to the National Housing Law and put the rental caps on midterm rental contracts. So I'm gonna give you a real example how that plays out for one of our properties. Okay, so I put up an apartment that we manage for a client of ours in Barcelona. It's at Ronda de Guinardó 42, and it's a very good location next to Alphonse X station. Very good location in Barcelona. And I've here the data. So it's constructed 86 square meters. I forgot the energy label, so I just put energy label D. Has an elevator, even has a nice balcony. It's fully renovated. So this apartment currently brings in, before with the housing law, new rental cap, 3,000 euros a month. So we still have all the old contracts that are going on. So this is a room rental apartment and brings in 3,000 euros per month because we have multiple rooms. So with this new housing law, I kid you not, you can only charge maximum 1,038 euros plus your EB and some other small costs, so maybe 1,300 euros a month for the same apartment. So this is an 86 square meter apartment, currently is 5 bedroom, but you can convert it to 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, so very nice, fully renovated in nice location in Barcelona. And this apartment, we bought it for 360,000 euros. Then we also need to put money for the renovation, transfer tax. So let's say this property is all in for 130,000 euros. Then you can only charge up to 1 to max 1.3K. That's, you're really stretching it then, huh? So if you use a mortgage, 70% loan to value, 3% interest rate, low interest rate actually, then your monthly payment is 1,269 euros a month. So you're already minus from your mortgage. Then you have your other costs like property tax, your HOA fee, maintenance, repairs. So basically you have negative cash flow with the same property that was actually very cash flow positive before, is now negative cash flow. So I already explained this in another video. Tenants think that it is very good for them because it's easier to get cheaper apartments. However, what you're gonna see, a lot of people are gonna sell and it's gonna be less inventory on the free market for people to rent an apartment. For example, these rooms are all going to disappear, because why would you keep 5 rooms if you can only charge 1.2k a month, you can maybe find like one long-term tenant. So if you're a foreign investor, why would you keep this kind of properties, right? You're just gonna sell it, and that's exactly what's gonna happen with this property, because it's just simply not worth it to keep. So this capital is gonna be moved to a market that's more favorable to landlords. So in the short term in Barcelona, I definitely see this having an effect on the pricing. However, because there's shortages of good housing, it's not gonna have a huge drop, and still a lot of expats wanna move here. So I don't think it's gonna cause a huge drop, but this is definitely in the back of a lot of investors' their eyes, and this also can have an effect on other markets in Spain. So we're gonna talk now about the price points, what you can expect for 2026. Despite all the new rules and regulations, the Spanish housing market did incredibly well the last year in 2025. Year over year, appreciated 12 to 30% over the whole housing market in Spain. So this is actually the highest increase since 2007. So let's look at the major cities, what the average square meter price is. In Madrid, average prices are now around 4,800 to 5,200 euros per square meters, depending of course on the district. In Barcelona, prices are between 4,300 and 5,000 euros per square meter. Prime neighborhoods going much higher. Of course, if it's a high floor renovated property, the square meter price will go higher, but these are the average numbers. In Valencia, prices are significantly lower, averaging around 2,600 to 3,000 euros per square meter. So very good investment opportunities in Valencia. And Malaga has a surge in recent years and is now roughly around 3,200 to 3,800 euros per square meter. So then a lot of people ask me, like, how are the prices still rising if there's so much regulation going on in the Spanish market? The first thing is there's a shortage of housing in very big cities. So in these big cities, simply there's not enough housing getting built for new people that are arriving. So there's structurally a shortage of housing. Second of all, in 2025, still a lot of international buyers were still buying and investing in the Spanish market. But I think in a few markets, this is gonna slow down, especially in Barcelona. And the last one is lifestyle migration. Spain attracts millions of people from all over the world. It's an amazing place, amazing country with nice weather, good food, and lower lifestyle costs. So this brings a lot of expats, digital nomads, people that wanna retire in Spain. So there's a lot of foreigners that are coming in. Also, there's a lot of lower income migration that's also moving to Spain because of its open border policy. So there's a lot of people coming into the country from expats to lower immigration. And all these people, of course, need housing. So what does this mean for investors? Spain has currently an interesting dynamic because on one hand, you have prices going up, a lot of inflow of people and not enough inventory. So prices are keep rising. On the other side, we have transfer tax going up, taxes going up, plus more regulatory issues with rental caps. So therefore your cash flow is getting lower. So prices are going up, and the other side, the renting out and tenant protection is way stronger. So has its ups and downs, but it's very interesting dynamic what's currently going on in the Spanish market. And yeah, there's still opportunities in Spain. However, you need to know exactly where you're buying and what you're doing. You need to get under market value properties. So buy a fixer upper, add value, and then rent it out. And in certain cities, like for example Barcelona, you can only flip houses because, yeah, in my opinion, to rent out for such a low price, or you have to do it illegally, and yeah, I would never advise anyone to do it the other way. If you want it the legal way, yeah, the returns are just so low. However, in other Spanish cities or Spanish areas, you can still make decent returns. So take into account these rental caps can also be placed in those markets. So have a plan B ready and buy under market value, because this is very important, because if the market drops a little bit or these rental caps are in place, you can sell right away and liquidate your cash and move it to a more favorable market. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace out.